Good evening, everyone. Uh, it is my pleasure to introduce a truly inspiring individual joining us today, Mr. Shayan Basu Roy, an incoming Masters in Public Policy candidate at University College of Dublin, Ireland. Shayan brings with him a strong academic foundation and a passion for research that has already made an impact. He was previously associated with Pahal, Harizon, where he co-authored a significant research paper analyzing the migrant population in a conflict-affected region. His work not only showcased deep analytical skills, but also thoughtful engagement with complex issues, and earned the Best Presentation Award at Pahal, Harizon's uh, annual conference. This paper was later published in Pahal Harizon, an international research journal, a testament to his academic rigor and clarity of thought. But Chan's contribution don't stop at research. He has also worked as a debating consultant, reflecting their strong communication skills and ability to distill complex ideas into meaningful conversations. Their interest lies at intersection of policy-driven social change, international development, and evidence-based governance, areas where the voice and perspective are both timely and valuable. Shan is also committed to continuous learning and is currently upskilling in data analysis and statistics, further strengthening their ability to make informed, impactful policy decisions. What sets Mr. Shayan apart is their unique ability to combine analytical precision with empathy and deep sense of social justice, whether it's through policy, discussion, academic inquiry, or on the ground understanding. They are driven by the goal of creating equitable and meaningful change. Please join me in warmly welcoming Shayan to the workshop. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Trisha. Thank you very much for the lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Shayan Basu Roy. And before I start with the session, I would just like to put something forward that, guys, it's going to be a very chill session. So I would love it if you guys could have your cameras on and we can just have it's honestly, it's just a very general, basic conversation that we're all going to have. It's going to be very chill. And I would love for, okay, I think one person has switched on their camera. Thank you very much. I would love for everyone else to switch on their camera so that we can all just, interact and we can, make this a two-way street because, not very long ago, I was in your position. And trust me, if you have your camera on, the guest speaker really likes it. And overall, you do end up having a wonderful session. Before that, I do see some familiar people here, Divyansh, and of course, I don't see Arya sir or anyone, but yes, I do see Divyansh. So I have been coordinating with Divyansh previously before the session started. So again, thank you to Pahal Horizon, thank you to Divyansh, thank you to everyone on the team for giving me this opportunity. So before we start, I would just like to ask a few questions. Number one being, how many of you here, like how many of you here are pursuing graduation or have completed graduation and are pursuing masters? So if we can just have a quick round of introductions and things like that. Anyone?
Hi, I'm Trisha.
Hi.
I
Yes,
have
Trisha.
graduated recently and I'm currently working, but I'm planning to
Okay.
pursue my master's next year. So I heard that you are doing your master's in a very good college at now. So I would like to have some guidance on how this research has helped you in getting a seat there. So it will be
Right,
helpful if you give us some
right.
insights.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for that. Anyone else who would like to talk a little bit about where they're doing their graduation, whether they've completed it?
Yeah, I would like to talk about it. I'm in my undergraduate only in second year and not thought about masters a lot about it and don't know if I want to do a job or get into academic career. But yeah, I want to know about research, so that is why I'm here.
Great. Thank you so much, Isha. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Anyone else would just like to
Hi,
talk a little bit? Hello. Hi. Yes.
I'm George from Kenya. I'm currently a third year student. I'm not yet done with my studies, pursuing a Bachelor of Technology in Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Okay, great, George. Lovely to have you on board with that as well. Um, anyone else? You see a couple of more people who haven't switched on their cameras. That's fine. Take your time. But anyone else would like to talk a little bit about anything?
Hi, my name is Asha, and I'm pursuing my third year. I have finished my third year right now, and because of the NEP, we have the fourth year now. So,
Right.
waiting for it. I will be doing a research paper, I guess, in it. Hopefully, we have not been given any clarification regarding it, so we are waiting for that also. So, yeah, would love to learn or listen to you.
Oh, lovely. So, Asha, are you currently pursuing your graduation from Delhi University?
Yes,
Okay, which college?
Deshbandhu, it's in South Campus.
Oh, okay, Deshbandhu, right, pretty close to my house. Lovely. Okay, so great, great. That's wonderful. I think we see a lot of people who are on the verge of, applying for their masters, a lot of people who are in their graduation currently, and that's wonderful, wonderful. So I would just like to make it very clear that I was pretty much in your place not very long ago. I was confused. I did not know what I wanted to do. Honestly, I had zero clarification with regards to the fact that, okay, what am I going to do after I complete my graduation? What are the things that I'm passionate about? And will passion get me very far to begin with? So I think, keeping all of these factors in mind, what motivated me to pursue my master's abroad was a very simple answer to a very simple question, which was that do I see myself growing the way I want to living in India, or do I see that happening better abroad? Right? And the answer to that question for me was that yes, while India, doing my education in India, my schooling and my graduation in India has given me a lot. It has broadened my view. But personally, for me, to broaden my worldview, I decided and I took the decision of going abroad because you have to understand one thing, the very fact that we think about going abroad or like studying abroad in itself is a very big decision. It's not a decision that it's just like, okay, you know what, let's go, right? It's a very calculated decision. It's not a decision that, you can dream about it, but then when it actually comes to it that, okay, now I'm actually going to go abroad or like I'm actually going to like start applying to places, then it starts getting very real, right? And I think it's an investment not only from your side, it's an investment that your family makes, it's an investment that everyone around you makes, right? So with that idea and thought in mind, I would just like to present my screen real quick. Oops, I just switched off my camera. How do I present my screen? Yeah, okay, perfect, yes. So just quickly, I will, yeah. Are you guys able to see my screen? Could anyone please confirm that?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, so to begin with, of course, all of you are part of the SRIP, the Summer Research Internship Program, and I can give you a 100% guarantee that it is going to be an incredibly life-changing experience because I was someone who did not have a lot of idea about research or what I want to do with regards to research, whether I want to pursue research or anything like that. But Pahal Horizon really helped me understand what academic writing looks like and how you can use it to further leverage your dreams, your aspirations, and how you can sort of build a career out of it. So to begin with, yes, this is a little bit about me. I just completed my honors degree in political science. That picture is a very recent picture. I went out for a trip with my college friends. So I was like, we need a fresh picture. So this is me. I just completed my graduation in political science and I will be pursuing a master's in public policy from UCD in Ireland. And I am a Bengali, pretty much a foodie at heart as well, somewhat of a debater, as clarified with Trisha as well in my introduction, but mostly a yapper really. And these are two of my favorite artists as well. I don't know why I included that, but I felt the need to. Anyways, so let's move on. Now we have my journey. So I think the foremost important thing was that, you know, um, I was in the first half of my third year when I joined Pahal Horizon, right? And when you're pursuing political science from Delhi University, Often, you think that, oh, I'm not getting enough opportunities. I want to do research, I want to work with the government, I want to do political consulting, things like that, right? You have a lot of things in mind, and you scroll on LinkedIn for 5 minutes and you feel like, my God, everyone else but me is doing so much in their lives. But the simple fact is that not everyone, or specifically you, have to go in the pace that everyone else is going. You craft your own pace, you do it in your own way, and you take your sweet time. Because at the end of the day, we are all different people, and no one has a clear path, or no one has a standardized way in which they have to pursue their career or whatever. So I found Pahal Horizon when I was, going through LinkedIn, and I was going through all sorts of fellowships and journals where I could work, and Pahal Horizon came to me on LinkedIn. And I reached out to them, I applied, I got into the WRIP, and it has been a life-changing moment ever since. And I think, with the workshops like this one and many other workshops with speaker sessions and, sessions conducted by the supervisors, the researchers, Akash sir, Lokesh sir themselves, you get to learn a lot about not only the fact that, oh, how to write a research paper, but how to look at things, look at global phenomenon, look at things that are happening in the world from a research and analytical perspective, right? Especially if you're someone who comes from the social sciences, having a research and analytical perspective on a lot of things is very important, because it helps you. Sometimes, you feel like, okay, you know what, I want to talk about what's going on in the world right now. I want to talk about what's happening with climate and sustainability right now. And you see that, everything can be converted into a research paper. Everything that, because I think the boundaries of knowledge that way don't exist. They are limitless. So I think never shy away from whatever topic you want to take up. Never shy away from, if you're interested in this topic and you're a little unsure whether, if a research is going to work out well, or like, will I be able to write a good research paper on this? Don't be scared, just do it. So I think Pahal Horizon really helped me that way. It sparked an interest for me in international academia, because I think I started to read more. I started to read a lot of foreign journals. I started to read a lot of researchers who have written articles, written topics, written on different topics related to my research expertise. And overall, I think it's been a wonderful journey. I think you're able to sort of put yourself into this entire world of researchers and academics who've done research on topics before you, and in whatever way you're able to contribute to all of these things, right? So this was my publication, which I genuinely am very, very proud of. It was an analysis of migrant movements across conflict-ridden regions, and it was published in Pahal Horizon. And genuinely speaking, it was one of the happiest days of my life. So it was a wonderful thing to see that, all the hard work that you put into and all the skills that you learn finally pays off. So, again, as clarified previously, I think, this research program really allows you to build skills, I think, and because the very topic of this talk is how research helps you go abroad, right? So I think, finding places where you're able to develop your research skills is very important, because what happens a lot of times these days is that a lot of people who want to do research and apply to places, the problem is that a lot of them, these places require qualifications, require previous work experience. And for freshers, that is not always easy, right? I mean, you don't enter into college, or you're not in college knowing research, you learn it. So I think finding those kind of platforms which help you improve your research skill set, and I think it helps develop critical thinking, analysis, and communication. It really helps in a lot of ways, right? So I think, and how you can sort of leverage research in building a career, because I think the way the world is going at the moment, academic integrity and research and academia is increasingly becoming very important. People want knowledge. People are craving knowledge. People are craving the right kind of information. People are craving wanting to know more, right? So I think in this particular political scenario, political economy, political climate, it is very important to, find ourselves in research, find ourselves uh, not traditionally in the sense that you have to write a research paper and things like that, but in the sense that we should constantly expand our knowledge base. We should constantly expand our worldview. It's very important, right? So I think research becomes a very important mechanism through which you can further your own career interests, because many a times on the variety of topics that you're researching, you end up discovering different types of careers, different types of lines of work that people are immersed in. And that also gives you an idea of what kind of a career do I want, right? So I think research in itself really helped me build my application as well with regards to when I applied to universities abroad. So I think research at that point of time is very important. Now, let us talk about the study abroad process. As you can see, there's a little collage here, and I would like to know if any one of y'all, how many of y'all can name of some of the colleges that you can see here? Anyone? If you're able to name any one of the colleges, if you've seen the college and things like that. Anyone? Oh, oops. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Anyone. Try. I mean, if I give you some hints, most of these colleges are in the UK and in the US. Any idea?
Is Glasgow there?
Glasgow, you tell me, is it there? Yes, Glasgow is there. What else? Anyone else? Well, so this is Imperial, this is Stanford, this is MIT Sloan, and yeah, tell me, I one this is USHIC, University of Chicago, and yeah, I mean, tell me, anyone else is able to recognize any of these colleges? All right, cool. Let's move on. So I think, yeah, so navigating the study abroad process. Um, so I think first of all, it is very important to recognize how the world looks like. Whatever program you are planning on pursuing and whichever country you're planning on going to, you have to first of all see whether it is a country which is conducive and provides a favorable environment to international students. Because I'm sure we're all aware the things that are going on currently. Not all countries are very safe and favorable for international students. With everything that's going on in the US, with Harvard, and like the challenges that it has been facing with the government, it has become increasingly difficult for international students to pursue education abroad. More than that, I think education abroad, since it has become very accessible, a lot of people are going on mass, and because of which competition is increasing, because of which, universities are changing up their standards, changing up their qualities, changing up their, prerequisites to get into the university, which is making it very hard. But also at the same time, it has become very easy because a lot of people have entered into the education consulting space, wherein, they are able to sort of form these tie-ups with these universities, and they're able to send a lot of people abroad, right? So I think before you even think about, going abroad, I think it is also important to look at what the countries that you want to go to. What are these countries offering international students? So, for example, initially when I had thought about going abroad, I wanted to go to USA. Actually, I wanted to go to USC, University of Southern California, because they had a wonderful international relations program. But eventually, over time, I got to see that, the things that are happening in the US are really changing every single day, and it's becoming increasingly difficult. And, lot many countries like the US, they don't provide for international students staying for too long in their countries, right? You have to look for a job within 2 to 3 months. And if you're lucky enough, you get a job with a visa sponsorship. And if you don't, then, you have to come back home. So I think then my focus sort of shifted to Europe, where I initially looked at Paris, Sciences Po. But again, the GPA requirements and something were pretty high. Then eventually I went to UK and Ireland, and I found University College Dublin. It provided a course for a master's in public policy. And the good thing is that Ireland allows you, they usually have 1 year master courses, and Ireland really allows you to stay back for 2 years, look for a job, and then eventually after time, if you work in Ireland for 5 to 6 years, you can apply for a permanent residency, right? I think what's also important to acknowledge is that a lot of people don't necessarily have that kind of a financial capital where they can just go abroad, get the degree, and come back, right? I think a lot of people who do plan on going abroad, it is not only an investment in education, it is an investment in their life. Your family puts in a lot of investment for you to go abroad and not come back, right, within a year. Look for a job, earn some money. And then, of course, if you decide to come back home, that is a separate thing. But I think it is very important to look at which program you want to do, which country you want to do. Different programs can have the same learning outcome, and at the same time, same programs can have different learning outcomes. So, for example, in UCD, I got into a master's in public policy, whereas in the University of Galway, I got into a Master of Arts in public policy. Now, on the face of it, people would think it's not that different, but it is widely different because Master of Arts in Public Policy is a very social scientific way of looking at it, whereas an MPP degree is entirely technical. It is incredibly technical, and it is, it is very sort of it employs data analytics, it employs research methods, it employs, forming policies and things like that. So at that point of time, that also becomes very important for you to shortlist which kind of a program are you looking at and which country are you looking at. Is that country favorable enough? And is that country worth going to? And will I have a comfortable life apart from my academic achievements in that country? Right? Then comes the golden trio, as I like to call it, SOP, CV, LORs. SOP refers to the statement of purpose, which is also known as the college admissions essay. The CV is, of course, our curriculum vitae, and the LOR is the letter of recommendation. Many universities, they don't necessarily look at GMAT scores. I mean, of course, most universities do, but a lot of universities, for them, holistic education and academic consistency is more important to them than, your GMAT scores or your GRE scores. A lot of universities, especially in Europe, they look at college admissions essay. Now, what are college admission essays? These are basically essays that you write to prove to the university why are you an ideal candidate and what will you bring to the table at the university and how that university is going to help you. So a statement of purpose is essentially a little like an essay about you know, how you have developed into the person that you are today. What have you studied before this? Why do you want to pursue this course? How will it help you with your future goals? So, crafting an excellent SOP is very important. After this session, if anyone would like to learn more about SOP specifically, they can reach out to me. But with regards to SOPs, yes, it is very important because it oftentimes is the defining factor which allows you to get admissions in universities abroad as well. A lot of universities, they might not necessarily, you might not have a lot of work experience, but if your SOP is killer, then a lot of universities do consider giving offers to, you if you've applied for these universities. CV, of course, I'm sure all of you know what a CV is. And LORs, of course, are letter of recommendations from your professors, which do become very important. Right. So then moving on to let's talk a little bit about scholarships, deadlines, and application tips. But before that, up till this point, does anyone have any questions or anyone would like to clarify something and anyone would like to ask something? If anyone would like to share their opinion or something, you see a lot of people here. Yeah. So if you guys could just talk a little bit about anything. Any questions, anything up to this point? Yes, Asha.
Questions.
I don't think I can hear you clearly. I think there's an issue with your net. You can, I think, write it down in the chat box. Anyone else? I see a lot of people here, George, Ishak, Meenakshi, Mercy, and then I think a lot of other Ashmit, Kirti, Deepti, Aditya. If you guys have any questions, you can shoot. Any doubts, anything up till this point? Otherwise, we'll move on. Yeah, okay, let's move
Hi,
on.
I have one doubt.
Yes, yes,
Actually,
yes, Trisha,
in
go
India now, a lot of companies go for university names instead of course what we are pursuing. Is it the same in every country, in foreign countries, or does the
Could you
university
just
map?
repeat the question? Could you just repeat the question once again?
I
Yeah.
just want to know if the university matters more or the course matters more. Is it okay to do a normal course in a good university or do a mainstream courses in not so known universities? There is a difference, right? So I just want to get a
100%.
clearance on that.
100%. I think, what you talk about is something that I was faced with when I was starting out with my graduation at DU. I think, DU is a huge group of 91 colleges, but then also, there are some good colleges, there are some not so good colleges, etc., etc., right? I think the course versus college sort of conversation is very important because I think in India, what happens is that if you're in a good college, like a top college, but your course might not be very well known of that college, people don't necessarily see that, right? They look at the fact that, oh, you know what? Like, for example, if you're studying like what? Like if you're in like I don't know, like if you're in like Hindu college or you're in the St. Stephen's College, and say, for example, you're not studying a very popular course from that college. But people will really not look at the fact that you're in that course. They will look at, oh, you know what? They're in St. Stephen's or they're in Hindu. But also at the same time, the course that you want to do. I think, college is the people who make it. And if you are someone who is in a particular college, which, for example, might not be the best well-known college, it might not be a North Campus college. But also at the same time, if it's a college which is where, the professors are good, where the faculty is great, and your college might not be known for all the courses, but it is known for your particular course. That, in my opinion, does much better for your career, for your life post graduation than being in a college which everyone knows. So I think, if you're in a college which is not that well known, but then the course is great and the college is known for that particular course, that adds much more value to your, personal trajectory than anything else. Similarly, abroad, I think, there are a lot of colleges, especially abroad, there are tons and tons of colleges, right? I mean, new colleges coming up every single day. Um, if you're in a college which is not that well known, but for example, its courses are very well known, or the placements that the college gives are very well known, or the location of the college is very well known, I would say go for it. So I think personally, my opinion is the course matters more than the college. I think the course is more important. The college at the end of the day really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if you are doing well in your course, recruiters and people who employ you post graduation or post masters, they will look at your academic consistency. Your brand, your college brand wouldn't matter at that point of time because right now we are in a skill based economy. It doesn't matter whether you're from a Harvard, whether you're from Columbia, whether you're from wherever. If you don't have the skills, no one's going to hire you. Perhaps the Harvard, Columbia, Yale story worked like say 10, 20 years back when everyone went to the States for university, but now it's more of a skill-based thing. Yes, you've done your graduation from this university, but do you have the skills? Do you have what we need you to have in order to work at our place? I think that is more important. So, you know, if you're doing a course that you like, you're excelling at it, and then you're gaining some skill sets, that matters more than which college you are in, to be very frank. So, talking a little bit about scholarships, deadlines, and application tips. Mostly study abroad. So one thing that is very important when you're thinking about going abroad is to start early. Start as early as you can. Don't wait for the applications to open or don't wait for the applications to close 1 month before and then you start applying. Start applying everywhere. Right now, the fall session will be starting in September. And then soon enough in October, November, the winter session will be opening up. Or like, a graduate intake is going to open up for next year as well. So the point here is that that is also going to start opening up. and you will be faced with a lot of people who've already applied, who've already got into places. Like, for example, when I was applying last year, I applied around, November, December. I knew a lot of my friends who had already applied in September, October, got their offer letters by November, December, and they were ready to go, right? So apply as early as possible, because a lot of what happens is that the earlier you apply, there is a better chance for you to get scholarships, better chance to get financial aid, better chance to get, better chance to just get the course that you want, get necessary scholarships, and have your application approved quite quickly. Because the earlier you apply, the more amount of time you have to think about your decisions, and the more amount of time you have to think, okay, where do I want to go? Because trust me, a lot can change in your mind over a gap of, 6, 7 months. You can decide, as a starting point, you could have decided that I want to go to this college, but over time, it's like, okay, you know what? Is this the course I want to do? Is this the college I want to go to? And then you apply to other places as well. Hence the concept of safety schools as well, right? A lot of people apply to their dream schools and also at the same time apply to their safety schools. Safety schools are schools where, you keep it as a backup. So these are some of the important things that are to be kept in mind. These are some of the very popular and well-known scholarships around the world. BARD scholarships are given by universities in Germany, which is really helpful for a lot of Indian students as well. The Inlak Shivdasani Foundation gives a full right to students who are deserving. You have the Tata Trust scholarships. You have GOIIES is the Government of Ireland International Education Scholarship. It again, it provides a full ride. Then, of course, much more popular scholarships such as the Chevening Scholarship, the Rhodes Scholarships of Oxford University, and the university-specific scholarships. I think, when you're applying to places, go through the profiles and the websites of these universities, matlab, in a very detailed way, because they provide a lot of scholarships for a lot of courses for international students. Because a lot of countries right now want to attract international students into their cohort. They want to attract international talent from all across the world and bring them to this place where, they all can talk about scholarships. They can bring international students. So they incentivize it for people. Right. So I think that being said, let's just move back to the slide. Yeah. So talk about deadline applies to early as possible. Application tips. Again, those of you who are immediately planning to start thinking about applying, this is mostly for you. But those who are still in the process of thinking whether I do want to go abroad or not, with regards to application tips, I think, you just have to ensure that your overall profile shows a level of consistency. Like universities won't be happy if you've been like a topper throughout your graduation, or you've been a topper throughout high school and you haven't indulged in any sort of work experience, or you haven't indulged in any sort of co-curriculars, right? It needs to be a healthy balance of both. You need to be able to showcase that you have taken up leadership positions, you have had work experience and things like that. And also at the same time, you have an academic consistency, because the narrative is changing, right? I mean, no longer is a good student defined by how much marks they're scoring. A good student is defined also by how much marks, not necessarily by how much marks they've scored, but also with the amount of work that they've done. What projects have they been a part of? What competitions have they attended? What have they written? Where have they gotten themselves published? Right? So I think you need to maintain a healthy balance of everything. And let me make one thing very clear. As Indians, I think, the standard of what we try to achieve in education as it is very high. So abroad, if you are scoring like a 70% and above, you're considered a good student. So that's like a second class honors, second class upper honors degree, which means that if you're scoring 70% and above, you are eligible to most universities abroad. Like, to good quality universities abroad, you are eligible if you're scoring like a 7 and above, right? And I think as Indians, we are always so incredibly trained, thanks to our education system. We have already been trained to take up the pressures of, what the education system puts us through, that we know how to score well, right? So always keep this in mind, that if you're scoring like a 70, 75% and above in your graduation, you're good to go. You're eligible in most universities abroad. Right. So this is again a very important thing. Why you? Why that country? Why you in that country? When you're thinking about going abroad, you also have to think that, okay, if a university, if today in front of me an admissions committee chair is sitting in front of me and they ask me, or why should we take you? What will you say? What is it that you're going to say? Are you going to say, oh, I have a dream of going abroad? Sure, that's great. But what else? Why is it that you feel that you will be able to better accomplish your goals not by being in your home country, but moving out of your home country, moving everything that you've known for such a long time and going somewhere else, starting a life in a new country? These are the important questions that, it's not that these will be asked to you in college admissions, but these are the questions you have to ask yourself. Why should I take the decision of going abroad? Why is it that, I want to go abroad? Not only because I want to, like, I don't like India or whatever, whatever, but also because perhaps the goals that I see for myself, the courses that I want to pursue, I won't find that here. I will not find that kind of an expertise here, or the expertise that I'm looking for, I won't find that here. Right? So, why you? Secondly, why that country? Why is it that that country is important? Why do you want to go to that country? What is it that country provides for you that you will be able to, do for yourself better? And lastly, why you in that country? What will you contribute to that country by being in that university? What will you contribute towards, for example, if you do get employed in that country, how will you contribute yourself as an employee? Or in general, I think, why is it that this country is the country of your choice? Now, when I'm saying this, these questions might seem very trivial to you all, right? It might seem like, oh, you know what? Why is he talking about all these kind of things? These are things we think about on a daily basis. But that's the thing. We think about these on a daily basis, but we don't actually think about, okay, what is it? Like, am I very sure about what I want to do? Because, keeping everything aside, the ambition that is required to go abroad, that in itself gets built when you start asking these questions and, you sort of are able to streamline what is it exactly that you want to do. So that is very, very important. So moving on, I have talked about scholarships. Then coming to, the rather ugly part of, admissions and, going abroad. I think the major factor with regards to study abroad is that not every university that you apply to is going to take you. Not every university is going to think of you as deserving as much as you think of yourself. So there will be a lot of universities which will say that they are not able to offer you an admission at this time. They might offer you an admission at a later date. Don't let it become a defining characteristic of who you are. Rejection is a part of life. And as I had previously clarified, I think consistency is very important. Just staying consistent and constantly, looking for other options, looking for other universities, because we also have to understand that there are also a lot many externalities that might restrict ourselves from not being able to go abroad. It might not be our potential, it might not be our caliber. We might have that at to 100%, but also at the same time, a lot of universities, they reject because perhaps with something with regards to the country, or like with regards to your status as an international student, a lot of factors, right? So rejection isn't always because of you yourself, it could also be because of what's going on in the world. Feedback from mentors. I am sure everyone sitting here knows of someone, or knows of, like, a sister's brother, or like someone in the family who has gone abroad, whether it be for work, whether it be for education, someone or the other must have. A good idea would be to, constantly be in touch with them. When I was applying for UCT and I was applying for Ireland, I was constantly in touch with a lot of my father's colleagues who were based out of Ireland, a lot of my friends, elder siblings, cousins, their friends who were based out of Ireland, who did graduations from UCD, Galway, etc. Because these people have experienced what you are planning on experiencing, and they can give you real advice. Education consultants oftentimes will sell you this dream, right? They will sell you this entire narrative that this is the best place for you. No, you will face no problem the moment you reach there. But when you talk to people who've lived it, they will tell you that no, yes, it is ambitious. Yes, it is great. Lifestyle here is amazing, but there are a lot of challenges as well. So feedback from mentors is gold. Feedback is very important. Whatever decision you take, discuss with people, broaden your worldview, broaden your circle within which, the type of people you're talking to. And that's very important, right? Um, Before I come to this, let's like do a quick ice-breaking interaction sort of a thing. How many of you here are actively planning on going abroad? Like, say, for example, this January or like, next fall. Show of hands. Show of hands. All right. Asha has raised her hand. Anyone else? Trisha as well. Isha as well. George as well. All right. Cool. So if I could just ask all of you, for example, Asha, which universities are you planning on applying to, and what courses are you planning on doing? Like what are your ideas? What are your thoughts?
I'm looking for London School of Economics and Political Science as of now,
Okay.
and I am mostly looking in Europe itself, in
Okay.
um London, some city-wise. If I have not, like targeted city-wise or something, but just like an
Mhm.
overview as of now. And
Mhm.
political science is my course, so mostly in international
Oh,
studies, relations, or comparative political analysis.
okay, lovely. So I mean, of course, I'm your course senior. That's great. So, okay, great. I think LSE is a wonderful option. LSE is one of the top universities. And so, if I'm getting it correctly, you are pursuing political science from DU as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great, great. Isha, what about you?
Hi, I'm planning to go abroad, but not this year or this fall.
Mhm.
In the
Right.
next year, I would be planning to go apply there. I'm studying psychology, and my main area would be Australia. I want to go there because the psychology studies there is the best, and they have highest uh, record of for producing psychologists there, best psychologists. So my focus is there.
Right. No, no. I completely agree. Universities like Australian National University, Monash University, University of Sydney, these are very good
Yeah.
universities for psychology. Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. All the best for that. Trisha, yes.
Actually, I have kept Germany as my first choice, especially all the TU nines with RWTH Aachen as my first choice of university. Their smart production course is very good actually. Through curriculum and their faculties are known for it. So I'm trying for RWTH Aachen.
RWS. Got it, got it. And I think Germany recently has, I think, removed the qualification for language. I mean, many universities don't require you to know German. So that has also made it quite easy for a lot of people to apply to Germany as well. Like most of the courses are being taught in English as well. So that's great. Yeah. So, okay, great. Anyone else who would like to talk about what they're planning for? George. Yes, George, I think you raised your hand. George, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Yeah. So what are you
Um,
planning on?
my main focus is continue my course. Of course, I'm pursuing electrical engineering. I want to majorly head to countries which are well developed in the engineering sector, maybe
Mhm.
Japan or the United States, but not this fall, not this year, but until I'm done with my course, because I'm currently headed to my fourth year and the last year.
Right, right. Makes sense. That's great. That's great. I think Japan also obviously like provides for a lot of wonderful scholarships as well. Japan is known as a country which does provide a lot of scholarships for its international students. Who else? Anyone else would like to talk a little bit before we move on? Anyone else had any questions, anything they wanted to ask? All right, cool. Let's just move on quickly then. Yeah, so I think, as I said, this has been covered. Again, now these things, these things again are not that important right now. I think right now what is more important is to looking forward to an international lives before talking about pre-departure and things like that. I think looking forward to an international life is very important. Being able to be like, okay, you know what, I want to go and do this is very important. And building a global career again is also, see, global career, the idea of a global career is gradually sort of disintegrating. It's becoming more global. It's like think from your own country, but produce, design, and earn abroad. So I think because of how internationalized everything is these days, you don't necessarily have to always step outside of home to build a global career. You can do that by sitting at home as well. So I think overall, my entire point throughout this session to all of you is that it is important to focus on developing skill set. Currently, as we speak, we are living in a skill set economy. We are living in an economy which, is very based on skill sets. So I think, especially for those of you who come from social scientific backgrounds, thinking about going abroad, first of all, as I said, you need to be very sure whether that country is conducive enough to international students. It provides for a safe environment for international students. And second of all, I think building skill sets does not happen just by, just like that. I think you need to really put yourself out there and try and understand what kind of skills will be getting you jobs abroad. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people also do go abroad for not just getting a degree and coming back, but to also go ahead and build, sort of build their build a academic and a professional trajectory right abroad. And so because of all those reasons, thinking about going abroad is a very important decision. It is not something that comes easily, and I think research in itself is a very important skill set that is required to have. Many think tanks, such as Chatham House, based out of London, and then a lot many more think tanks, such as JPAL, which have offices abroad as well. These think tanks are working hugely, with international students. They're actively recruiting international students to work for them, to indulge themselves in research. So don't think that, if you have to pursue research, you specifically have to write just a research paper. There's nothing more to research or like become a professor. You can work in interventions, you can work in projects which are dealing with sustainability, which are dealing with climate change, which are dealing with various issues that are in our world at the moment. So I think research is important because it helps you to broaden your worldview. It endows you with skills that are required to sort of prove to, because see, research is not only limited to how to write a research paper. That of course, Pahal Horizon does a wonderful job at it. But more than that, what is also important is how you can use that research skills that you have in daily life. How can you use the things that you learn in research? How can you use that in, your daily life, such as when you're applying for jobs, you're applying for, projects, you're working in projects and things like that. So, again, as I told you in the beginning as well, it's it's a very gradual process. I have done this particular session with you guys. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you are ready to, like you are completely ready. You need all the information that you need. It's a gradual process. It keeps happening from time to time. It is not something that gets to you immediately. It is something that you will understand, you will try, you will fail, you will then understand again over time. And I think overall, it is something that is a wonderful option. It is something, but now, given how the world is, it is important to be very sure about the course and the things that you want to do. And only after that, you decide to go abroad, right? So with that, again, stay early, stay consistent, seek mentorship and build networks. I think I've clarified that, just go on LinkedIn, message, like you find anyone who's doing your course at your university, message them. Don't be afraid what they're going to think, what they're going to say. Message them. If you have their email IDs, email them. Tell them, I am a student, I am doing this, I plan on going abroad. Can we, connect sometime and can we, talk about some things? I would like to know more about the university. I would like to know more about the course. Network like there's no tomorrow and there's no harm. You will realize eventually over time that people actually like talking to people and people really appreciate, really appreciate giving advice to people and people really appreciate um, taking advice from people as well. So, if you reach out to someone who's from a university, they will be really happy, more than happy, trust me, when you reach out to them. And keep the purpose at the center of your journey. Um, it's not the end of the world if you're not able to go abroad. It's fine. Sometimes in life, what does happen is that, we don't get things what we want at that particular time. But that is also because, later a lot of other things, better things are going to happen for us. Right. So, having said all of that, also another important point that I would like to, one second. Yeah. Another point that I'd like to clarify is also that, just stay focused and you don't have to necessarily take a lot of pressure immediately, especially those who are in the second and third year and or those who are still trying to figure out what they want to do, what they don't. Um, just, just take it easy, be at your own pace and build a network, build a circle that is going to support you. While at the end of the day, it is going to, of course, be your hard work, your determination. It also wouldn't have been possible without the help that you get from people. So I think with that, I do come to the end of my session. I really don't have a lot to add because again, I am not, coming down from the mountaintop and being like, oh, this is the experience I've gained over the years. I am also still learning. I haven't gone abroad yet. I am due to leave for Ireland in end of August. So I think I am also still learning, but I am just here to share whatever I have learned over these 5 6 months, and I just hope that it is able to help you guys out. So with that, I would like to thank Horizon for their time. I would like to thank all of you for being here, and I am open to questions and I'm open to clarifications or opinions or anything that is you would like to share.
Hi, Shan. Am I audible?
Yes, Divyansh.
Before questions, I must say the overall session was very wonderful. The kind of points you mentioned, the kind of quotes you quoted during the session about being consistent, about being focused, about having a overall development during the academic journey. It's just really amazing. And I hope all the students, all the participants found this session very well. And I just request all the participants kindly switch on their cameras and go for the questions. It is really one of the best session that I am also participated in. So just go for the questions. It is very interesting session. Go for the quick questions.
Yes, please fire away. I have all the time now. I have completed my graduation studies. I have time on my hands. So please go ahead. Ask any questions you'd like to ask. Anyone.
Hello
Or
everyone,
even if,
hello everyone.
yes, please tell me.
I'd like to go first. Of course, I said I'm George. In your experience, how does studying abroad influence a student's personal growth and future career opportunities?
Okay. I think it's very subjective, George. I think, first of all, we have to understand that, studying abroad at one point of time, perhaps it was like, oh my God. And even today, it is still a very big dream. It's like, oh my God, I want to go abroad. I want to do this. I want to do that. But we also have to be realistic in the sense that it is not all rainbow and sunshine and, good weather and wonderful, nice environment all the damn time, right? So what is important is that going abroad. So if you know that your personal growth and your growth as a person is going to be further accentuated by going abroad, and you are very sure that that is what you want to do, and you know that it is only after I step abroad will I be able to get closer to my dreams, my personal growth, and my ambitions. That is when it will actually help you. So the question that you asked, that how does it help in our personal growth, etc. and etc., as such, it is not doing anything wildly different than what you can do by yourself. But what it does help is that it helps you to be at places where you dreamed of being, if you have that ambition which is strong enough for you to take yourself abroad. At the end of the day, it is very innate, it's very intrinsic, it is within us. It is for us to decide how we take that forward. So going abroad in itself isn't going to change things for me. But the moment I do go abroad, I will be able to do those things for myself that I had always planned for myself to do. I get the marks, I get my extracurriculars in order, I get my LORs, I get my SOP done, and I am ready to go. Not because, I want to go there, or like, not because that place is like, ki come here, study with us, but because I know that my personal growth is going to happen there. I will be able to grow as a person there. So that is how it's going to happen. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Anyone else would like to ask a question?
I do have another one.
Yes, please, go ahead.
What are the most important factors that students or maybe people who are intending to study abroad, what should they consider when researching study abroad opportunities, including choosing the right countries, choosing the right universities, and choosing the right programs?
I think, as I clarified in my presentation, choosing the right kind of university is, of course, very important. But as I said, you also have to see whether that country is conducive enough for international students, whether that country is not going to make it like increasingly difficult, or whether it's not going to add another burden to you being an international student in that country. Second of all, I think look for specifications. Um, if you're going for a course and you want to study a very precise, specific area in a particular field, look for a course that gives you exactly that. So, for example, as I think Asha mentioned that, she wants to do something with comparative political analysis, or, she wants to look at, basically the subjects that she's learning. If you want to, for example, if you want to specifically study comparative political analysis, look for courses such as comparative studies, look for courses such as comparativist studies, look for courses which allow for those which, are solely based on that particular area that you're looking at. So going abroad and trying to look for courses which are very broad based is not very helpful, because the moment you are able to look at specific niche courses, they are also able to increase your employability, because you also get those specific skills which you want to use later, right? After your master's or whatever education abroad. And third of all, you have to see whether the output that that particular college gives you is in line with the general output that you're planning for yourself, the general outcome of your life that you're looking for yourself, the general academic trajectory that you want for yourself, if that university is able to provide that for you. So that's also important. These are some important, factors to be looked into, I think. So yeah. Anyone else?
So much. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Okay.
Hi.
Yes, I think Purity had a question. Yes, tell me.
Yes, I also had a questions like, okay, you know, when you try to go like to Google for these universities that have like scholarship, usually it is very difficult to know which one is legit, which one is a lie. So maybe you could tell us maybe a site or what do we look for when we're searching for this scholarship, and how to differentiate which one is the real one and which one is not.
Right. That's a very important question. I think even I was in the same doubts. I was also in the same place because yes, I wanted to go abroad, but I also wanted a scholarship. I think there are a lot of portals online. So if you just give me 1 second, I'll just tell you one portal that is there. Just a second, because that is the portal that I had used when I was looking at going abroad. So if you just give me 1 second. Yeah, yeah. Mm, mhm. So there's this one website called mastersportal.com. They have a huge number of scholarships that they provide. More than that, they have a huge portal where they have listed down different universities. So it's called, just a second, I'll tell you the website again. It's called, excuse me, mastersportal.com. That's mastersportal, mastersportal.com, which has been very helpful to provide you with a lot of important scholarships. Apart from that, if you want to check the genuinity of these scholarships and check which is the correct, like which scholarship should I apply for, which is verified, search of universities. For example, if you're looking at 10 universities, go to their websites and look for scholarship opportunities that these universities provide. That in itself is more genuine than most. Go to these universities, look for scholarships that are available at these universities, and they will give you all the information that you need to apply for the scholarship. What does the scholarship stand for? Which courses is this scholarship applicable on? And a lot of universities also give bursary scholarships, which are basically sort of like discounted prices of your degrees to further incentivize people to come abroad as well. So go to these university websites. You will find tons and tons of scholarships specific to that university. In a way, it sort of reduces your double effort because number one, it allows you to look at the university that you want to go to, and also at the same time, you're able to look at the scholarships of that particular university that you want to see. What a lot of people ignore is that a lot of universities provide university specific scholarships as well, course specific scholarships, university specific scholarships. There are a myriad of scholarship opportunities available, so you can definitely check them out. But otherwise, as I said, Masters Portal, it's a very reliable website. It does help in looking for scholarships and things like that. Part of this entire research is really done by yourself, but there are websites that help, and going to university websites really helps. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Great. I think before her, someone else had a question as well. You can ask your question.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yes,
Uh,
Usha.
like like going to abroad, sometimes we need a lot of LORs and we need work experiences. And I have applied to 2 to 3 NGOs and places where I can work an internship. And my experience was so bad that I don't want to include my LinkedIn also. They have given me a certificate, but I haven't learned anything from there, and it was super horrible. So how do we find that reliable sources where we can do internships and we have something credible when someone asks what you have learned from there or what you have contributed, we have something to answer.
That's a very good question again. So if I may ask, Isha, what course are you doing currently?
I am pursuing psychology and economics. It is a dual major and I am interested in both.
Okay, and where is it that you're doing your graduation from?
Yeah,
Where are you doing from your graduation from?
I'm doing my graduation from Mount Carmel College, Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay, okay. So I think, if I'll answer this in two ways. Number one, course specific. Now, I know a lot of people who are pursuing psychology. Now, I am aware that psychology as a field, getting internships in psychology as a field is very difficult.
Hmm.
And a lot of times you have to pay to get internships
Mm-hmm.
in psychology, right? Yeah,
Yeah, true.
yeah. So, I
And
think,
that too, it is
yeah,
not very, and if even if we pay that, it doesn't give us a very nice experience or something that we have learned from them. It is a
correct,
thing.
correct, correct. I think, at that point of time, what I have seen a lot of people do, I'll just answer this course wise for now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically speaking for psychology, what I have seen a lot of people do is that they reach out to these mental health and mental wellness organizations, like wellness
Hmm.
consulting groups. There are a lot of wellness consulting groups, like Antarma Consulting, etc., and etc. These wellness consulting groups look for interns and look for people who perhaps are studying, organizational psychology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Organizational psychology, they are interested in human resources and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And that helps you to employ what you learn in organizational psychology, the things that you learn, like how to be a better HR, how to have unconditional positive regard, how to use psychological practices to improve the company's output, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these kind of wellness consulting groups really work well with regards to, giving internship opportunities to psychology
Mm-hmm.
students. Rest, I think, even with going abroad and even with internships, network. Talk to people who are doing your course in other cities. Talk to people
Mm-hmm.
who are doing your course in DU. Talk to people who are doing your course in other parts of the country. Talk to them, see how are they looking for internships? What kind of internships have they done? Because I think, the kind of day and age we live in, it is very important to diversify your CV. Just because you're a psychology student doesn't necessarily mean that you will only have internships related to psychology, or you will only
Mm-hmm.
learn things out of internships done only solely on the basis of psychology,
True.
right? So look for, on LinkedIn, look for these wellness consulting groups. Look for psychologists who themselves are looking for people to assist them in, psychological tests, in
Mm-hmm.
surveys, in interviews and things like that. That also teaches a lot about, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
other things as well. Because, a lot of psychological researchers, a lot of people who are psychologists, who are counselors, who work with people, mental health
Mm-hmm.
professionals, they also oftentimes, ask for a lot of people who can help them out in conducting interviews, things like that. So that's how that expertise builds. So you're also learning public relations, you're also learning communication, and you're also able to apply your field into this particular internship, sort of finding internships and doing the right kind of internships. So I
Yeah.
think that is that. And otherwise, generally speaking, I think, you know, there are a lot of groups that are made. So, for example, I'm part of this group called Public Policy India, which
Mm-hmm.
sends us regular updates of all sorts of internships, fellowships, and opportunities available for students who want to apply for different kinds of universities, different
Mm-hmm.
kinds of different kinds of internships and things like that. So I hope that
Mm-hmm.
answers your question. So yeah,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
most
It really
welcome,
answered
most
my
welcome,
question.
most welcome. I think while answering Isha's question, another thing came to my mind, guys, which is about fellowships. There are a lot of fellowships abroad as well. So even if, for example, you don't necessarily feel that, oh, I want to actually go to university and study abroad for now, you can apply to international fellowships as well. Erasmus Mundus, which is basically funded by the European Union, they provide a lot of fellowships where you can live in one country for 1 year and then go to another country for another year and gain that sort of a worldview experience, and it is very cool. And Erasmus Mundus has a lot of fellowship opportunities in the field of journalism, in the field of political science, in the field of economics, etc. It's really good. Apart from that, there are many other fellowships, the Mukherjee Fellowship, Lamp Fellowship, the many other fellowships actually. Like a lot of organizations and NGOs put forward a lot of fellowships for people to study, put forward a lot of fellowships to incentivize people to come and study at their universities and at their organizations or whatever it is. So fellowships are also something very important. Anyone else would like to ask any other question?
If no one has
Yes.
question, can we wind up?
I think we can in that case. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I request everyone to open their cameras for e-selfie. Please open your cameras. Okay, we are done with the e-selfie. Now that we are coming to close to the end of this informative event, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my sincere gratitude on behalf of the entire team of Pahal Horizon. I would like to start my thanking from Mr. Shayan Basu Roy for taking out time from his busy schedule and being with us here today. Your talk about your journey from undergraduate research to taking off towards international academic opportunities was very insightful and a thought provoking and offered us a fresh perspective, especially for aspiring researchers. I also like to express my gratitude towards the organizing team whose efforts have ensured the smooth running of this session. Additionally, thanks to all the participants who joined and engaged with us, which added value to this discussion. With that, let's officially conclude today's session. Thank you once again, Shayanji, and to everyone present here. Thanks. Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have added my email ID in the chat for everyone if they would like to connect further. I'm also available on LinkedIn. So, we can always connect further after this session as well. Please do reach out to me in case of any questions, any doubts, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Overall, once again, thank you very much, Pahal Horizon, for this opportunity. I really look forward to seeing some of you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shayan.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.
All of you can leave now. Thank you so much.